Friends, there has been another leak, like you must have heard about Panama leaks. In recent, many leaks have been there wherein the big and wealthy countries have been exposed. Wealthy people have been exposed. This is related to climate changes. The conference on that, which is likely to be held next month, known as by COP, that is Conference of the Parties 26, because 25th have been held. Last year it could not be held because of coronavirus. So it will be held next month. This leak has been massive. However, this did not find much propaganda in the media, social media, as this does not concern common people directly unless you are concerned about the climate crisis, would be climate crisis. In fact, it is already being felt in the northern hemisphere, the colder regions, not in the southern or in the region which is in close proximity of the equatorial regions. Anyway, let us come back to this. The BBC is the one behind this which exposed it, and 2 days back the report had come. And many countries like Saudi Arabia, Japan, Australia, and few other countries whose name I will be speaking about and talking about, and other wealthy people, the companies and persons are involved who have been wanting to change the scientific findings of the institutions which were to be discussed in this would be or coming meeting, and actions to be taken by the government. Okay, what is this institution which is trying to hold the meeting and trying to rope in all the governments of the world and to obey or follow the instructions passed by this? This is part of UNO, like many other institutions, organizations. And what is the aim? Aim is that the global warming must be restricted to 1.5 degrees centigrade, which is now 2 degrees centigrade and threatening to run away. And the moment it crosses to 2.5, then we will have absolutely no control over it. Okay, now I will talk about IPCC. You should know about this. This is Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Changes. As I said, this is a UN body. And what is the function of it, role of it? To evaluate science on climate changes. And this is given to all the governments, participating government. On that, the governments, respective government, they decide what is to be done. And in the meeting, the minimum common program, which will be accepted, has to be implemented in case we want to save the earth. By the way, the earlier president of USA, Trump, had said that he's not bothered about this and he had withdrawn USA out of it. The Indian Prime Minister had said that climate change is a hoax, and since you become old, you feel more cold or more heat. The Brazilian president had said that when the fire had taken, a huge fire had taken in Amazon jungle, which is supposed to be lungs of the earth, producing oxygen for the earthians, including especially humans. And when the aid was to be given by the other countries, France and other European Union countries said they will help, he said, no, don't worry, it is a natural phenomena and this is our internal matter. Well, let us come back to our talk which I am talking about. What sort of leak is this and what it says? It says they want to continue fossil fuels and so change the scientific findings. The finding itself should change. What are fossil fuels? They are like coal, fuel, which has been found under the earth, which has been created over millions of years. Once the plants and other carbonic compounds have been buried inside the earth and taken the form of fuel and coals and other things. So these, for few examples, I will not go in detail, wanted to change what, quote, need for urgent and accelerated mitigation actions of all scales should be eliminated. Let us go slow. That means there is no urgently required to do this. And naturally, Saudi Arabia is one of the biggest exporter of oil. Australia, what it says, closing coal-fired power plant is necessary. It wants to remove necessary because this country is also one of the biggest coal producer and exporter. You can make out CCS, carbon capture and storage. I will not go into detail into this. You got to find out. This basically means the use of hydrogen and synthetic oil, synthetic liquid fuel produced by hydrogen and carbon oxide, and to go slow on this so that whatever they have, they want to sell it. Who cares about the earth climate? So this further said focus on decarbonization efforts must be deleted and supported by Argentina, Norway, OPEC, the main oil producing companies. One more example, since I have given examples of two other presidents, three in fact. Tony Blair, ex-Prime Minister of England, supposed to be the then leader of Labour Party, says climate change challenge is immense, but there is no alternative. There is no alternative. Tina effect, as far as leaders is concerned, every country says. In this country, when Mrs. Gandhi, Indira Gandhi was there, they said, if not Indira Gandhi, then who else? Same was said about Hitler, was being said about ex-US president, and so on and so on. This is one of the most stupid phrase and used by your Tony Blair. I've already talked about Brazil, Argentina, which says that whatever is going on must continue slow. And Brazil, Argentina here says eating meat must be removed because they are one of the biggest, largest exporter of meat. And one of the findings said that eating meat is deteriorating the climate, heating up, warming up the earth. Well, friends, sitting in India, you don't feel about the earth warming up, but then in northern globe, that includes European countries, Canada, many other countries, even in Russia, northernmost part of Russia, where I had visited about a decade back, where we were shivering in -7 degrees centigrade, but the local citizens said, no, this is warm, this is hot. In this present month, when I had visited there, the temperature used to be -14. Now it is -7. The earth is warming up. You must understand this. The extremes of weathers, the flood, the loo, the hot weather, the cold weather, and the elongation of that duration is visiting us very frequently. And once we cross this limit of these extremes of weather, where millions are migrating, one of the reasons of refugees, not visible in India, but it is happening in Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and other states. It is happening in the world over, where people are not getting drinking water. Hygiene is not there. The jungles and trees are getting burned. They use fire. How to control it? And then these governments, these huge companies for which these governments are working, they want to change these basic things so that the people who are fighting against global warming, who are fighting against climate emergencies, their mouth must be shut. And what is the reason for all this? Sheer profit. Well, I can't stop but to say this is capitalism which is killing us and the earth. Thank you, friends.